Myra from sacredsoulpractice.com. Let me go live on Instagram back. See, you're okay. It's my puppy in the background. Hi, Instagram. It's Samira from sacredsoulpractice.com. And I am logging on to talk about the trauma informed certification that I have called Safe Trauma Practice. Those of you on Facebook have been hearing all about it over the past week or so. I'm going to catch you up Instagram, I promise. And I wanted to share today about avoiding scams in this personal development industry, right? Last night, I ventured on to a post simply. I caught the post someone had shared that certain mental health medications have chemicals in them. And that is true. There are pharma medications that have chemicals in them, like most of us know this, right? And many of us choose to treat with more natural situations, remedies, and doctors, and just like more natural things. And there are some things that you can go the more natural route on, and there are other things, right, that need Western medicine. And I'm so grateful for both modern medicine, Eastern medicine, natural medicine, pharma, right, in its place. Everything has its place. And so, what I shared on this particular post, right, is that when we talk about a trauma informed perspective. Hi, Lawan. I'm so glad to see you here. When we talk about a more trauma informed perspective, hang on, my puppy, making sure he doesn't have anything he shouldn't have. I had no idea having a puppy was like having a 4-month-old kid who can walk. Had no idea. Those of you who are on Instagram, my daughter has a new puppy. It is become my baby because I'm home all day with the pup. My husband and I work from home, and my daughter's at school all day. So we got a new puppy at the end of summer because that's how we roll. We do things like that, like just jump over in something that makes no sense, right? So we got this puppy at the end of the summer. She's in school all day. And so my husband and I have a puppy at home all day. So if you hear barking, that's him. His name is Baxter, and he is the sweetest boy in the world. And so I am sharing about how to avoid scams, right? At the end of the day, this post really kind of got under my skin because of this. When we talk about the coaching industry, when we talk about people who are jumping in to programs to help heal themselves, to help promote healing in their life, to really help them move away from patterns and habits that are not healthy, people are trying to make some real changes in their life. Sometimes people are really choosing to invest in programs with maybe all of the money they have. They may not even know where they're going to get the next payment from. They may have tried so many things, so many coaches, so many programs, so many things that maybe supported them on their journey, but they still are really struggling, right? And sometimes it takes a combination of things to support us on our healing journey. And so I don't like when vulnerable people are taken advantage of. I don't like when people in general are taken advantage of. And I don't like when people are advertising like false claims of things that, when you start hearing things about like this always works, this never works, try this, it'll end all of your problems around everything. It's a red flag. It's definitely a red flag for a scam. And so this person shared that this is their opinion and they have every right right to their opinion. They shared that they felt like if you were completely healed from a mental health issue, from past trauma, that you wouldn't need medication. And so I disagreed with that. I think that you can, I believe wholeheartedly that you can have done the deeper healing work around your trauma. And because trauma, especially early trauma and developmental trauma, can impact our nervous system so deeply, our immune system so deeply. I said a few weeks ago in our 30-day live experience on Facebook, 30-day free series. You can catch it on my Facebook. For those of you who are on Instagram, I will drop the link below for you to grab that if you're interested. We were talking about the ACE study and how when you are younger, when you've had traumatic things happen in your home and your family to you, it increases your probability of health risk, of health challenges, of mental health challenges, physical health issues, just like increased challenges in your life because of these earlier experiences. And so when I say that, there are some people who have healed. I worked in addictions treatment for years with people who were so resilient, with people who were so determined to heal and grow and heal their addiction, which led them to healing their trauma. And some of them still needed ongoing medication for their mental health, to help them in their recovery, right? And there's no shame in needing medication. I support medication. I have taken SSRIs at different points in my life as I have healed my own severe trauma history. I support medication. I support the appropriate, healthy use of pharmaceuticals. I support Eastern medicine. I support functional medicine. I support a holistic viewpoint on what someone needs to be well and to thrive. And I also hold space for the reality that our healing journey is not one size fits all. And as coaches, we have to be mindful, and therapists, right? That there's not a one size fits all approach. And we have to be really mindful of these blanket statements that categorize people, that stigmatize people, and that really marginalize people into thinking something's wrong with them or that they are broken in some way if they need a certain kind of support to help them thrive best in their life. And so I want to just speak a little bit today to avoiding scams around people who are sharing that they are trauma informed, right? And they are teaching it or selling you a program based on it. There are people in any industry. There are people in any walk of life who sometimes are going to stretch the truth, right? Maybe over promise something and not be able to deliver on that. And if we're honest, many of us have been there before. The difference is when you are saying that you are trauma informed and that you're offering a service or program that can truly help someone, and that's not the case, you're not trauma informed. What are some ways, what are some red flags to look out for? It's people who are offering blanket statements around, I guarantee this is the only method, the only treatment you would ever need. I guarantee the results, that it's going to work no matter what, right? We're going to get out of something what we put into it. Therefore, the results are really based on how someone's applying the methods and if someone's doing the work and if someone has enough space in their nervous system to sit down, to do the work, to take in the work, to put their best foot forward, right? So whenever we have these blanket statements and blanket guarantees, it can be a red flag that someone might be over promising. When we think about red flags that can promote scam behavior, it's when someone themselves are not really employing consent, really asking people if they are open to certain methods and frameworks if they're not transparent in what their program or what their service or what their modality is, so that someone can make a decision that's informed, right? When people are just sharing different insights about um, their visions and their prophecy and their I have, I guess, like maybe tarot readers who inbox me a lot on Instagram, who are sharing that they see some kind of like, you know, energy just in my life or around me that doesn't mean me any well. And if I choose to book a session with them, they can help me unpack it and like prevent certain things. And I'm not saying that line of work isn't credible. I believe that it is, but I also believe that when we are sharing things with people without asking consent, asking if they are open to hearing what we have to say, that's someone that's not actually employing a trauma informed perspective and how they're sharing their work. And it's not my intention to shame anyone's practices, but it's to say there's a way in which we can share our work that's in integrity, that is ethical, and that allows grown people to make adult decisions for what is best for them. But it's important to really be mindful that if you are seeking support, seeking deeper healing, seeking, alternative methods in your healing, in your journey, that you ask people if they're trauma informed, what makes them trauma informed, what their philosophy is around trauma informed care and their trauma informed practices that they're going to support you with. I'm so tired of people being taken advantage of, which is why I have become much more active in sharing my work that is credible and masterful in supporting people and sharing their work with the world, because the challenge becomes the darkness sometimes, and people who are scamming other people just tend to be louder at times than the people of the light, than people who are sharing this work but maybe are not as fluent in their marketing or in their sharing of their work. And I think that we can really rectify that. We can really switch that up when we embody our work more and when we're able to share about it more openly. This is so important because we're at a point in our history where so many people are ready to heal. They're at the point of really wanting to help other people heal. I think that we need healing more now than ever before. There are so many people that I work with, that I speak with, that are on um, my social platforms, who reach out to me, who are so passionate about getting their work into the world and sharing their good medicine. And it's possible. And I honestly believe that people who, are offering scam things are doing the best they can at the time where they are, and they're truly misguided. I think it's important for us who are further along on our journeys, who are doing the deeper work, to really show up and share our work so people have good alternatives to seek out true trauma informed care. Most everyone has experienced trauma at some point in their life. It's not going anywhere. It's always been here. It's always going to be here. But there are ways to move through it and to heal it. There are ways for us to commit to doing less harm and not harming people, right? There are ways for us to heal ourselves. Hi, Stephanie. There are ways for us to heal ourselves and to really be mindful of what we're putting out and how we can support people, and really just being more mindful of being aware of people who are making false claims, of people who are not quite in their light and haven't done the deeper work to get free of these ego-based limitations and of these just false narratives, right? So much of trauma informed work is saying, I have gone deeper into my own trauma and healed it. Therefore, I can lead by example. Therefore, I can support you in getting free and getting clear in your own healing, and then supporting you in creating whatever it is that you want to in the world to share your gift, your message. And for some people, it might be a physical business or offering or program. For other people, it might be your deeper personal development journey and how you're showing up as a person, being the best person you can be, being the best parent you can be, the best partner, right? Really sharing your passions with the world. It might be a passion project or a side hustle. It doesn't matter what container your work comes out and through with. What matters is that you're doing it in good ways that are affirming and nourishing for you, and that support your continued healing and expansion in your lifetime, right? Because healing is not once and done, it's a journey, right? Our own wholeness unfold in deeper and deeper ways the more that we go deeper. And I think it can be a real disservice when we are not transparent in the fact that healing is an evolution. It's not one size fits all. I wish it were. I wish it were an easy button that we just hit and everything was done, right? That's not how it is. And when people kind of advertise these like quick, fast, and in a hurry methods, 5 days to healing, um, it's not that something can't be a good um, like step in your healing process. But when it comes to healing, transformative healing, it takes time, it takes integration, it takes nervous system regulation, it takes really putting into practice what you're learning, being able to come back, share the feedback from what you've tried, and how it worked, and getting support in that. And so you want to be just mindful of containers that sometimes feel too good to be true when it's not clear on what the methods, the methodology, the frameworks. I'm not saying it has to be overly scholarly. That's not everyone's way, and that's not required. But even when something is more experiential or esoteric, there really should be some solid outcomes that you're going to walk away with if you commit to doing the work and if you show up, right? It's never a coach's job or a therapist's job to do the work for you. In fact, we can't if we wanted to, but we can walk the path with you. We can support you as you journey. We can give you tools and practices and frameworks that if you employ them, if you implement them, you're going to get a result. There's something about a spiritual principle. If you follow a principle, you're going to get a result from that principle. It's not the same thing as if you follow a fad or if you follow something that sounds good and it's not rooted in anything sound, right? That's something different. It's not like 100% for certain. It's certain that if you follow a principle, you're going to get a harvest based on that principle. And I just want to encourage you to really have discernment, really cultivate your discernment. You can pray and meditate on having deeper discernment around who you choose to invest your time with, who you choose to invest your resources with, who you and choose to trust on your journey, right? As you grow and as you heal, because I believe this work is holy. I believe it's sacred. I believe anytime someone steps onto a healing path and calls in a teacher, calls in a guide, that is a holy partnership. And no matter what capacity you're working with someone on, whether you're purchasing a PDF from somebody, like an ebook, if it's like coaching or a program, a certification, one-on-one mentorship, it's important for you to trust the person that you're working with. It's important for you to see the integrity of the person. Hi there, um, Aurora and Aura on Instagram. Thanks for hopping on. I think it's so important for us to really be discerning in who we trust with our time, our energy, our money, our healing process, and for us to really That's my puppy. And for us to really be discerning in, okay, I'm committed to doing this work. What is the best way for me to do this work? Who is meant to support me on this journey? Make it be clear to me who that is. Help me to really go forward in my leadership to make this happen in good ways that are win-win and mutually beneficial for all involved, right? There's a level of leadership that we're all being called to step into that is deeper, that is more expansive, and that is clear that we are accepting the mandate of being stewards of the work that we're here to share with the world in whatever capacity that that is. Luana says on Facebook, good tips when deciding who to work with. It can feel scary when you're trying to get help and you're not sure how to pick someone that's safe. It's so true. It can be scary. And I hear so often, I get messages in my inbox all the time around, I'm looking into this program or person, or I'm coming to you after working with people who, so they were trauma informed, they weren't. I had this emotional rupture, I had this stuff come up, they weren't able to really support me in it. I'm not sure where to go, or what to do, or who to work with. Do I need a therapist? Do I need a coach? How do I just decide the difference? What should I look for, in either of them, right? It's important to really understand that as much as you're wanting someone to know if their work is a good match for you, you're also wanting to know if you're a good match for them. Do they have history in working with somebody that has your unique story, your unique needs, your unique experiences, to make sure it is a good match, right? You really want to make, and sometimes even when you do all of that, I've done all of that, and I have still stepped into containers that weren't what they said they were going to be, and the person could not create the outcomes that they had promised to be able to create if I showed up to do the work. And the reality is, I had to decide that I was not going to be a victim, that I was not going to fall prey to that kind of thinking, and simply decide I'm going to make back what I invested by doing what I know how to do, and really surrendering to the right support and the right resources to come to help me to get this result. And it was a decision, and that's what I created in happening. And so we're never going to prevent people from doing dishonest things, but we can decide that we're going to be the opposite of that, that we're going to share our work, that we're going to do whatever we need to do, invest in whoever we need to invest in, with sound mind, right? To be able to get our work into the world in powerful ways that supports people in doing the work they came here to do, and supporting us and really having the businesses that we're meant to have, and being a steward of the work that we're meant to share, and to really step into our own healing in deeper ways, because I believe that we're all meant to be free of our past. We're all meant to be free of injustice. We're meant to be free of the trauma that's held us back in so many ways. And often we do that by moving through it, by really getting the support that we need to heal and transform and evolve. And so I'm personally inviting you to apply to my trauma informed certification that not only helps you create a vehicle for the work that you're here to do, in our business section, our trauma informed business section, but also helping you to really shore up the parts of yourself that are insecure, that are hiding, that are shrinking, that are stuck in an old story, an old limiting story about what you're capable of, or what you can and cannot do. Often these are old stories that we simply haven't challenged. And if we did challenge it, we sometimes are not sure how to move forward, because we may not have the tools. We might know what the limiting belief is, or even the stuck point, but we're unable to move through it. There comes a time where we need to employ unconscious programming. We need to really be able to look at the beliefs in a holistic way and integrate that old stagnant energy in good ways that can move through the resistance, right? Not with a hammer, right? But with a very sophisticated nervous system approach that helps your essence really expand and your ego to be able to let go of some of these harsh misbeliefs that were formed in earlier times in childhood in trauma that are simply not true anymore. Sometimes we are basing things on misunderstandings that are not like the most horrible thing in the world. It's just simply not true anymore. We can think that we're unqualified or that we don't know enough or that we're not good at tech or that we're not going to be able to market our work or that we're not going to be able to help clients as much as we think we are. All of these thoughts can be holding us back when really they're just fears from a part of us who is scared to step into our next chapter. And there's ways to move through that and to really step into your leadership and your mastery in ways that are very doable, in ways that are very actionable, and in ways that don't take years and years and years for you to unpack it. There's simply a framework and a method for you to do that and to do it in community. I think that some of the best containers to do this level of work are really group containers with a one-on-one component, and that's what this can be if you choose that. And so we have lots of ways for you to make this happen. I would encourage you to apply like today. The applications will be listed below in these videos on IG and on Facebook. There's no cost to apply. I read every application, I review every application. I ultimately decide if the program is for you, if it's for you this cohort, or maybe there's a couple of things that you might want to do or work on and apply for next year's cohort. I'm going to be honest with you. I want the investment to be in alignment with what you want, with where you're going. And I want people who are committed to doing this work and who can show up and who are in a place where they can really receive it to be in this cohort. It's shaping up to be such a beautiful cohort of people who are committed to the work, who are committed to themselves, who are committed to their deeper healing process, and who want this work to be fun. They want this work to be playful. They want to feel like they have evidence-based practices and methods and frameworks that they can apply to their own life and to their own I think that we're all our own first client, right? And we need to do apply the work to ourselves and master it and be able to share it with other people in good ways. And so that's what this program is going to help you do. It's going to help you really understand what trauma is, how to really recognize it, how to support people in moving through it if they are appropriate for coaching containers. We're going to help you create containers and programs and the methodology around creating containers for your work that is trauma informed. We're going to support you in creating a trauma informed business. We're going to support you in trauma informed marketing and understanding how to conceptualize that, how to think about it, right? So that it becomes easy for you. We're going to really help you to understand what the window of tolerance is, how to support people within that window, and how to know when someone's not, and when it's okay to do certain kinds of work with them, mindset, behavioral, right? But not so much somatic and unconscious work. They need to work with someone that can really help them process and integrate acute trauma so they can stabilize and have really grounding anchors for themselves, a solid practice, and then they're able to do the deeper, more expansive work that is coaching and that is trauma informed coaching. There's a real nuance around that. We're going to be able to really unpack some of the signs and symptoms of trauma, how it presents in coaching work, when mindset can be disguised as a trauma response, and when we're able to support people in unpacking their trauma responses, doing that deeper work when it's appropriate, when it's applicable, can set people free. It can take them off of this hamster wheel of, I need to do more, I need to fix myself, something's wrong with me, something's broken about me, when that's not the case. It's simply people can get into misunderstandings internally, right? Emotionally, psychologically, that can be unpacked through emotional mastery. There are practices and frameworks that promote emotional mastery, but that are rooted in psychological safety. You can't have emotional mastery without having psychological safety. It's not an integrity. And so people that are focusing more on getting a result like fast, quick, and in a hurry, that's not rooted in psychological safety, it's a red flag. And so it's so important just to be aware of those red flags so that you can be in good integrity in the choices that you're making for yourself, for your business, for your work. I'm so honored to walk with you on this path. Luana, I know it does sound amazing, and I'm so excited for you. You know if this feels like a yes for you, if this feels like I need to apply and just take one step at a time, I encourage you to do that. There's no better time than now. And here's the thing, the program is different from year to year in terms of the vibe of it. This is going to be a really special cohort, and you will receive a special alumni rate next year when I expand the program into a 9 month program. It's really going to be something that evolves over time. You're going to deepen your mastery with the work. There's a level 2 that's coming for my advanced practitioners who've been doing this work for a while, who want to go deeper, who want to be supported in community. There's exciting ways to go deeper in this work and for us to do it together. So stay tuned for that. And again, I would encourage you to share this, to tag this with friends or peers who you feel can benefit from the work. And my heartfelt message is, if you're on the path and you feel like you have been scammed, or you have come across something that just didn't feel safe for you, that didn't feel an integrity for you, I am so sorry that that happened. It's not the end of the story. It doesn't dictate what's possible for you. It doesn't dictate what beautiful outcomes that can still be created, right? One bad apple doesn't ruin the entire bag of apples. And so there may have been experiences that were unfortunate. I get that. I've been there. I've been so angry at myself for investing in something that wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And really had to say to myself, this is one step on the journey. I'm not going to allow it to cause me to quit on myself, on the business, on the work, and on getting my message to the people who need it the most. And I want that same decision for you to decide that your work, your message is important. People need to hear it. Whatever healing has to be done for you to get the work out there, it's necessary. There's always where there's a will, there's a way. I believe in that wholeheartedly. If you're feeling a call to this program, I would encourage you to apply. I would encourage you to reach out, DM me. There's still time. I have extended early bird pricing until this Sunday, and so that's the 11th. You can get your application in and get signed up before Sunday to get early bird pricing. The next price will be released on the 12th. Our welcome call is on the 12th, and so we have our official first training on the 19th. There is still time for you to jump in and really decide that you're taking this next step in getting the tools and getting the proper frameworks and methods for you to feel confident in sharing your work, confident in sharing sharing your programs, charging what is fair for you to grow and thrive and grow your business and your work, and for you to be sustained as you share this work with the souls that need it. It's possible. It's so possible to be abundant and thriving and share your good work with the world, the people who need it. And so I am here for abundant impact and your abundance in every sense of the word. I'm here for it. I love it. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you being here today. If you have any questions, please feel free to DM me. Please feel free to comment under this post, where we will have the application, where we will have the Facebook link for those of you on IG. If we need to access anything from the previous masterclass days. And we will talk soon about more good things. In the meantime, apply, apply, apply. Don't wait. Apply today. Get your applications in so that I can get them reviewed and get your decisions back to you so that you can get signed up and we can be ready for our welcome call on Monday. I love you so much. Please remain committed to the work you came here to do, to the healing that you are so worthy and deserving of, and to the fact that if you have the call, on your heart to do this work, to show up in the highest capacity of yourself, of your healed whole self, that's happening for a reason, and you are here for a reason, on purpose. And the work that's on your heart to do needs to be done, and it can only be done in the way that you do it by you. There are people who are assigned to you that are only going to get their blessing and their breakthrough and their freedom because of their work and their connection to you, not me, not to someone else, to you. And so I'm passionate about supporting you in creating the confidence, tapping into that assurance that you're here for a reason, with work that only you can do, and that you are more than confident, more than ready, more than capable of doing that good work in the world. And I'm here to support you in making that happen. I love you so much. Bye for now.